It looks like Governor Stein is now starting his press conference from the DMV in Raleigh, talking about issues. Let's go ahead and listen in there live now on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus.
You didn't take this job. Do you want this job? And he was unrelenting. He said, this is something that we can do better, and I am prepared to do my part to help us address it. So I thank him for hitting the ground running. As he said, he's been visiting DMV offices and talking with customers and employees alike all across the state. He's working on a plan that will help us to improve DMV. It's not that complicated. It's about process improvements at our locations so we can move customers through more efficiently. It's about a better website so that more people can take advantage of more services online so they don't have to come into the locations in the first place. And finally, it's about having a fully staffed, focused workforce. That's why I have requested that the General Assembly give us 85 more positions for the DMV across the state. This state is the third fastest growing state in the country. We've added more people since the last census than any other state other than Texas or Florida. Every one of those new adult residents need a new driver's license. So they are adding to the lines that exist from previous existing North Carolinians, but we have not kept pace with the number of workstations that are staffed at our DMVs across North Carolina. We're finding ways to get more people through our offices this summer, simplifying the website, and raising pay for examiners, as Paul said. I want to thank you for taking on the task, Paul. Secretary Hopkins and I will do everything we can to support you and your great colleagues at the DMV as you do this important and urgent work. We're not alone in our commitment to support the DMV. I want to thank the North Carolina State House for including these 85 positions that we've requested in its budget, and we are hopeful that the Senate will concur. Additionally, I want to thank Auditor Dave Bullock. He shares our desire to make sure that the DMV works for the people of North Carolina. As he has said, the DMV is not political. It's about service. It's about service to the people of North Carolina. I look forward to working with him as we eliminate inefficiencies, modernize systems, and get this agency back on track. Hundreds of thousands of North Carolinians visit a DMV office each year. They deserve to be able to take care of their business efficiently and get back to whatever it is they want to do with their day. That's why we are committed to tackling this problem head on so that the DMV serves the people of North Carolina at the level that they deserve. At this point, be happy to take questions and you can address them to any of us.
Governor, I know that the commissioner said it's not going to change today. What is the timeline for when you expect to see change, and what are the benchmarks that you want to see?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of our work ahead of us. Things like bringing on new examiners. We have to get the legislature to agree with that. And then once they give us the authorization to hire these 85 people, we have to then hire the people, then we have to train the people. So it could be months before those new positions are filled and they're actually helping us to reduce throughput. He's already done work on the website, so that's going to help us so that fewer people have frustrating experiences when they actually come to a location, because they know whether they need to be there or not, and they know what papers they need to bring when they do so. Every time somebody comes with the right documentation, speeds it up for everyone. Because if you come, you wait 2 hours, you get to an examiner only to find out that you don't have the right paper, you then have to repeat it another day. That adds another body to a line on another day when we could have ended that experience at that first visit. So we want to make sure that people have the right information. Paul, do you have other comments?
Yeah, so, we need a whole system overhaul. So long picture, we need a strategic plan and all those things, but we're not waiting for any of that to happen. We're waiting on systems to respond to us right now so we can make what we know based on our pilots is a major change that will immediately help throughput in the organization. We have things, we're going to make changes every week as we move through and make progress, and what we monitor is wait times. Right now, I can't build a great customer service organization, but I can increase throughput. Then on the back end, once we've cleared out all the folks that have been waiting and trying to get appointments and everything else over the time, then we can improve our customer service as well when we have normal amount of people trying to meet our services.
And Commissioner, you are obviously brand new, welcome, first of all, and you inherited all of these problems. Can you talk a little bit about how we got here, and then in your first few weeks, like actual tangible things that we can tell the viewers that, like, if you are going to the DMV next week, this is a change you're going to see?
So how I got here, is that, what was that, the first part of it?
Like how we got here.
How we got here. You know, we've always talked about how many people that we have that are out there. I think that really my focus has been how we move forward, assessing where we are today and how we move forward. It really is not pertinent to me unless there are lessons learned how we got here. And really, we know we have a very clear path of what we need to do as far as getting the people in, getting them trained, and getting them out to the floor, and bringing in anybody who's willing to work with us. Like I stole interns from DOT that were coming in to work here this summer, and we pulled them over, and we're going to train them and put them at the front line. So really, our focus is about moving forward. And I apologize. What was the second part of your question?
In the first few weeks that you've been here, you know, what are some things that we can tell our viewers that if you're coming to the DMV next week, the week after that, some tangible changes that they're going to see?
Yeah, so please go to our website and look at it now. That our first banner is, do you need a real ID? So if you don't need to be here, don't come right now. Let us get some of this through. If you have a passport, or if you're not going to fly, or if you don't need to be in a federal building, then you don't need it today. And so it's okay. We'll get you taken care of. And so first of all, please go to our website. Some of the things that you're going to see is some process changes around basically it's throughput of how we get people moving through. We still have appointments, but we're going to change the way that they're processed. Something else that we're doing is we're changing how we do our training for road tests. Road tests take a lot of time. They take somebody off of the processing floor and take it out there. We're changing that process so that we get people trained quickly, so even as we get the new folks, we get them there even faster. So it's across the board. We're looking at every single choke point that we have, from our scanners that take a long time, and you multiply that out by the number of documents that they hit per person, per examiner across the entire state. That slows everything down. So you're going to see a lot of different changes as we come through.
For the governor, when was the last time you visited the DMV, and what was that experience like?
It was a couple years ago with my daughter getting her driver's license, and we had to go to Henderson. So we drove an hour to get the driver's license, and we were the last appointment of the day. Fortunately, it was not raining on us that day. So look, I know that this is real, that this is a real challenge that parents deal with, this is a real challenge that any driving adult deals with, and we have got to do better, and we commit to doing better.
For the commissioner, I know there's been a surge with Real ID. Can you just say how many people currently have one and how many don't?
So in North Carolina, we're around 52% as far as how many have actually gotten them to this point. And I want to reiterate, not everybody needs one. If you're not going to fly and you're not going to have to go into a federal building, you do not need one today. Your ID works great. Or if you have a passport, you can just show your passport to fly or go into the federal building. So, but we're about 52% on that, which is actually not bad as far as the state numbers are concerned.
Commissioner, you talk about trying to empower employees like Ms. Williams here. I mean, what ways are you going to empower them so it's not just a friendly face, but I think ultimately people want to see efficiency.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, obviously our systems is a big problem. If you walk around and look at what they look at, it's still that old black screen with the green lettering, right? Which is an old legacy issue. And then that system they built macros, which is basically shortcuts because they were doing the repeated things, and they built those over and over. And then they layered over, making it so that it could talk with another system. And then they layered over something else because they could go online. And then they added another system in order to deal with a ticket. All of that has created a big mess that will take a lot of time to do. So that's one project. It's going to take us years, quite frankly, to get that, probably 3 to 4 years. That's one thing. The scanners. I walked in and I said, how can we help you? What can we do better? And they said, these scanners are really slow. I said, all right, let's take a look at that. And so we looked at it, and they are really slow. We just looked at another states the other day where it's much faster, it was much better for the documents, it ran quickly, loaded up much faster. I mean, again, we have 500 or so folks out there in the field, times every time they do a document, times every time they do multiple documents, the uploads. That's hours, that's days of people moving through our system. So those are a lot of the things. They tell us what they need, and then I respond to make sure that they get that.
We have time for one last question, and I saw your hand raised.
How many people are you guys seeing daily, like coming in, actually getting IDs, doing everything that they need to get done, and how long is it going to take you guys also to fix that backlog that you do have?
Yeah, so it's hard for us to exactly gauge how many people are out there because of the nature of the system. Because they come and then they leave. We can know how many are approaching us. We start every morning with 3,900 people in line. We get that report and we track that. We have about 2,000 appointments that are also out there. So we start with 5,900 of back people ready to roll for us, and then we have all the people that show up in line. So it is a serious backlog. We want to. It's also higher in the summer because of all the kids that are out of school and want to come in and do their exams or move through the progressive. So and I have to circle back around with the exact numbers for per day capacity.
You can reach out to our gov office and we'll circle back. Thank you, everybody.
Can we get the ladies to spell their names so we get it correct?
I will get that for you right after. I just got to make sure they're out. They have a conflict and are already over time. So I will make sure that you get the correct spellings for everybody's names. Thank you, everybody. We do appreciate y'all coming out. Thank you to all of our speakers.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you.
You are watching live right now. North Carolina Governor Josh Stein wrapping up a press conference along with the North Carolina Transportation Commissioner from a DMV in Raleigh, answering questions from the media, promising major changes that will hopefully get some of our systems to be less antiquated. It always seems to be a thing with any DMV in any state, doesn't it, Carlene? I mean, we were just talking offline. You have some challenges coming up trying to get things done.
And I'm not looking forward to it.
No one likes to go to the DMV or have to deal with renewal issues or even changing
Especially, it seems just like in our state, and it just seems like it's a uphill battle.
I know. I had oh my goodness. When I had to take care of things a few years ago, it was quite the ordeal. So. Right.